Well, it has been quite the day here in the studio. If you're not following me on Twitter, that's why you're not in the loop. Follow me at SCST Salazar and you'll know exactly what was and will be going on before you see it here on YouTube. My buddy Drew, who you saw from the Best Buy video, which you can check out currently, by the way, in the card above me, came over today and brought over his EVGA GTX 1070 Founders Edition graphics card. We had a lot of fun with it. We pitted it head-to-head against this GTX 980 Ti in multiple rigs. We also ran it in tandem, like kind of a dual graphics card scenario with one specific game, see how well that went, and basically just had fun part swapping, seeing what worked well with what and what didn't work well with what. We also monitored thermals when the fans kicked in, a bunch of stuff. We dove really deep into the comparisons between the 980 Ti and the 1070, considering the fact that both are very similar in price. If you're unaware of that, you can check out the card above me. Drew actually left just a few hours ago. I told him I'd have something up by the end of tonight, but it's 1:48 a.m. here in Florida, and I kind of let him down there. But I'm not going to let all of you down. This is a video that isn't going to contain much data at all. It's just going to be more of a relaxed kickback, if you will, video from the studio, us just part swapping, running into problems along the way, and having a good time just benchmarking and playing around with some cool tech. But without further ado, I hope you all enjoy part one of this series. It's gonna look weird as crap.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh well.
We have a microphone right here, and we're trying to make it work for both of us. But Drew's gonna sound beautiful, and I'm gonna sound echoey. Sorry about that, folks. This is workshop day here in the studio. We have, thanks to Drew, a 1070, and we are pairing that. Well, temporarily pairing that with the GTX 980 Ti for one specific benchmark. But then we're also going to be running a wide variety of benchmarks for both the 1070 and the 980 Ti. We're going to see which card truly is better for the price, because you can pick up a 980 Ti for around the same price as a 1070 currently. Now, of course, you have new architecture, lower TDPs with the 1070 clear benefits, also more VRAM, but if the 980 Ti is the better performer when it comes to frame rates we see in games, is that something that you should consider, even though the card will run hotter and will demand more power? We're going to find all that out in this workshop of sorts, and Drew, take it away.
Well.
You didn't have anything planned to say.
Nah.
I did that.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah.
It's awkward.
Well, anyways, I got my GTX 1070. It's an EVGA. Had to pay tax and that darn shipping, man.
That tax, man. That tax. Newegg isn't charging tax right now.
Yes, they are.
That is nice. Amazon, I found, is starting to creep in the tax when it comes to certain computer parts. Not all of them, and if you're not buying straight from Amazon's warehouse, you're not going to pay that tax for the most part. But that's starting to creep into the States especially. I don't know if people in Europe watching this video are paying tax already on things you buy online, but that's something that we were used to not having to pay here in the States, and it seems like slowly that's taking hold. So Drew had to experience that just now. I didn't with the 980 Ti, so this actually makes this Ti a little cheaper than his card, but for the most part, what we're going to say for the sake of this video is that both cards are equally priced in their own respects.
It seems like it's overclocking nicely. We are seeing a lot of like really high temps though with it, but that's probably standard drivers and everything like that.
Mid-80s, like 80, 84. I mean, for that, I mean, we might as well say that the 980 Ti is getting about the same temperatures. The Ti is overclocked to 1530, I want to say. I'll have that up right here. You'll see it for real. But that's the clock speed of the Ti, and we're still getting about the same temps as he is with his 1070. And his 1070 is clocked to, it was like 1900.
Yeah, it was 1900, yeah.
1910. And it's keep in mind, this is the Founders Edition reference cooler, and we're still getting very good overclocks with the reference cooler design.
Yeah, that blower.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's probably as high as we're going to be able to get those cards anyway. I mean, out of the box, non-reference cooler 1070 is still going to have similar clock speeds to what he has with his. Yours is an EVGA one, right?
It's EVGA, yeah.
So that means that EVGA went ahead and overclocked the card before they boxed them up and sent them out. So if you purchase one straight from NVIDIA, if it's a Founders Edition official box from NVIDIA, not third-party branded or anything like that, then your clock speeds will be the ones you see on the website that you're looking at right now. But if you're purchasing from a third-party manufacturer, even if it's a Founders Edition cooler, you're probably going to have those overclocks that Drew was getting. So that eliminates the bias towards a reference versus non-reference cooler competition. So even though the Ti is using a non-reference MSI cooler, the fact is both are overclocked to about their maxes. For now at least, given the drivers that we have available to us. So with that, we have plenty of games we're going to be testing. Drew brought his rig over. He's got an i5 6600K in there. 4.4 gigahertz, right?
We can overclock it to that. Yeah,
we're gonna overclock it. 4.4 gigahertz.
Yeah.
We got 16 gigabytes of RAM. He has a red, white, and blue, beautiful 24 gigs in there right now. We're gonna pull 2 of those out. So we'll have 16 gigs running at 2400 megahertz, and he's got all of his games on a hard drive. As do I. In this rig, i7 6700K. You guys know that 4.6 gigahertz and 16 gigabytes of RAM running at 3000 megahertz. So we're gonna see how well each card does with each processor. So we're going to see how well an i7 does with gaming, how well an i5 does with gaming. We already know that the i7 is not going to yield much better. I mean, it's more of a content creation CPU. So for the most part, we shouldn't see any variation there, but we'll leave that in a separate video, which you can check out if it's available in the card above us. With that, folks, we are going to get to it. We have already been running benchmarks all day. The room is very hot.
Very hot.
Yeah, our cards we can hear the blowers are just going.
Feel it, you know.
Exactly. It's radiating. Why did I don't even know why.
Okay.
It radiated out. I
Radiated.
completely messed that word up. Anyway, folks, we're going to go ahead and throw some interesting tech porn at you, I guess. We're going to show you a lot of clips
Very
of
accurate
the rigs.
word. Very
exactly.
accurate.
Yeah, it's beautiful. If you love tech, you're going to love this stuff. But his 1070 is a beautiful card. So we're going to take this GoPro. We're going to throw this thing into the rigs. We're going to see when the fans for each cooler turns on, what our max temps are. We're going to do all of that in these series of workshop videos we'll have uploaded to the channel very soon. Stay tuned for those. For now, enjoy.
Thanks, guys.
Perfect. So this will all be sped up like times 10. And then when you're taking out the card and stuff, I'll slow it down and make it look pretty. Oh, you're doing dual channel.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, do you have your motherboard switches in here? That looks dope.
There it goes.
Very little space back there.
Yeah, no, actually, if you think about it, like, this is a really short
It is.
tower. Okay. Somehow I can fit right there. There we go.
That's actually pretty easy.
Boom. Okay, now we're gonna put this back in. And we gotta unscrew.
Did you paint your NZXT plate?
Yep.
I was wondering, like,
Yep. Yep, I painted that sucker. Made it match the rest of it. Get out. Jeez. I cannot see. I can't see where I'm putting this. Once I get in. There we go. Come on, get in there. Yeah. Oh, snap. Okay. It's good. Alright. Now, folks, we are using a 750 watt B2 bronze power supply. I would not recommend using a power supply of this low of a wattage under most circumstances. The only reason I'm even trying this is because I know that the 750 watt, or excuse me, that the 1070 will be pulling a lot less power than this one will. So hopefully we get by. We may crash our system, but that's okay. All the more entertaining for you all, I suppose. Now all we gotta do is wire this thing up, and oh jeez. You know what? I gotta plug this back in. I should have should just remove this and plug those in first. I don't know what I was thinking. Should have plugged these in first. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Hey! You hear that? Do you see what I deal with? There they go. By the way, folks, working on carpet is not as dangerous as cracked up the baby. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave this open, the door.
Okay.
I'm not gonna close it. I think it's gonna get too hot.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it open. Hey! Okay. Am I on the camera at all?
No, go down.
Okay. Am I in there now?
Your like head's like a little choppy.
Okay, that's
Okay, you're good.
okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna close the door because I'm afraid temperatures are gonna spike to undesirable levels. So it will stay open. Of course, this isn't, I guess, indicative of a real-world scenario, but this is just temporary. Of course, we only have one game to test this out with, and that's Ashes of the Singularity. Let's see how well it does. Let's see if this works. We should theoretically obtain higher frame rates than we received with just either one or the other of these graphics cards. So that's what we're looking for here. Now, another thing we're uncertain about is whether or not this power supply, the 750 watt bronze, is enough for both cards under full load. That's iffy. I'd say we're going to be borderline. And again, I do not recommend doing this all the time because it's not going to stay in its peak efficiency curve. You're going to be way over here on the end, and your efficiency is going to be way down. Even though we're 80 plus bronze, it only goes so far. It picks up both of them. It knows we have that. Restart to repair drive errors. Yeah, let's do that. Come on, please be enabled. Yes. There we go.
If you're wondering where all the data is and all the graphs and charts, don't worry folks, that is coming very soon in part 2, if it's not already in the card above me, where we'll pit head-to-head the GTX 980 Ti, Nvidia's old school king, against the new cool kid on the block, the GTX 1070 folks. Stay tuned for that. This is Science Studio. Thanks for learning with us.